Hello, I'm Lucy from Colouring in the Midst of Madness, and today I am finally bringing you my review of the Johanna Basford 2022 colouring calendar. Now, an awful lot of people, especially in the UK, have been really struggling to get copies of this, which is why I put off doing the review. I think that's been sorted out, but I'm not sure. I will put purchase links in the description box. And I think you just have to be a bit patient about trying to get hold of copies. But last time I looked on Amazon, they were on there. And people have had a lot of success getting it on Book Depository, I believe. So do give it a go because it is really beautiful. So this is a collection of images from all of Johanna's colouring books. From memory, I don't think there are any from the drawing books. So there definitely aren't any from 30 Days of Creativity or from How to Draw Inky Wonderlands. Now I'm just going to move this down. So as you can see, this is an overview of the last 4 months of 2021, which obviously now isn't relevant, but for those of us who have had it for a few months, it was. This is the page I have coloured, and I did this with Stabilo fine liners and fibre tip pens. Now it worked quite well, but I'm not sure if you can see it, but it went a bit blotchy, which was a bit weird. So I'd probably recommend using pencils. The only problem you can sometimes have is that because the front is embossed with gold foiling, it ends up a little bit debossed on the back, which can make your colouring a little bit odd. Sort of like when you use crayons over like brass rubbing or something, it sort of gives that impression. But I have in the past had really good results on that page with dough and ink pencils or watercolours, as long as you use water sparingly. So we then get onto the calendar pages, and obviously there are 12 of these. The calendar is 12 inches square, which is 30 centimetres. So it's exactly the same size as any regular wall calendar. The pages are really quite thick, sort of papery card. They're definitely not card, but they're only just paper. And I'll just move this in shots so that you can see the months. So because it's a US calendar, and these are only printed by a US publisher, this and the planner, it starts on a Sunday. European calendars start on Mondays, but US ones start on Sunday. In the first two boxes, you have the previous month and the next month's worth of dates. And at the bottom, on special days, they are all marked. So you've got the phases of the moon, and you've got things like UK Scottish bank holiday, UK and Scottish bank holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the USA, etc. So it is all as you'd expect on a regular calendar, and the whole thing is fully colourable. So this image is from Enchanted Forest. This one is from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. So this time we don't have a heart on February, which is a change because we normally do. This is a lovely page, which I'm really looking forward to colouring in, from Magical Jungle. And this is from World of Flowers. So the papery card is a sort of light cream colour. It's not yellowy, but it isn't white. It will cope with most different sort of mediums that you want to use. Alcohol markers will bleed through. So if you're going to use alcohol markers and you want to use it as a calendar, you'd be best colouring as you go. So like colouring this page in April. Because otherwise, when you've coloured it through, on the March dates, you'll see it through. Whereas if you just did it in April, it doesn't matter about the back because you've already gone through March. So yeah, really the only thing you need to sort of avoid is alcohol markers. But as I say, if you colour through the year, you don't even need to avoid those. The paper is really good with pencils, with water-based markers, watercolour paints, as long as you're sparing with the water. This is from Secret Garden. And another one from Enchanted Forest. So it's a really good large format because all of these images are printed a bit larger than the books because the pages are larger. So it's really good for anyone with kind of poor concentration, or for those who have difficulties with their vision or with fine motor control, because the spaces are a lot larger on a lot of these than they are in the books. So this is from World of Flowers. This is from Lost Ocean. And as you can see, it's a really good selection of images, but none of them are sort of especially intricate. I can't remember what comes later, so there might be some, but I think most of them are not the super detailed images that Johanna creates. They're slightly more able to be sort of blended and shaded, and I mean, this lovely one's got so many leaves. This is from Magical Jungle. You've got a lovely little parrot there. So yes, it's a really good selection of images. This one is from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, and it's especially blown up because that book's the smaller format, with it being rectangular. So yeah, you've got plenty of space where you can, I mean, you can add backgrounds if you wish. You could use pastels, and you've got all sorts of room for blending and shading. I also find that these are really good for like trying out new techniques. And they'd also be really good for framing afterwards. So once you've got to the end of the year, you can obviously remove the pages from the spiral binding, and you can frame them if you wish. You could gift them to people. And of course you could leave it black and white. It is stunning as it is. So you don't have to colour it if you don't want to. This obviously is a page from Lost Ocean. And then this lovely bauble page is from Johanna's Christmas. So yeah, you could frame them. The spiral binding is ideal because, as you can see, it's pretty large, but it means when you're colouring you can fold it back on itself and it takes up as little space as it's going to. The hole at the top is quite small. You won't fit a nail through it, but I have found if you put a Christmas tree hook or an unbent paper clip through there, you can then turn it into a hook and hang it on a nail. And then it hangs really nicely. So yeah, it's a really lovely calendar, and unfortunately, as I say, it has been really difficult to get hold of, but I think it is sort of out in the wild a bit. So keep looking. As I say, I will put the purchase links in the description box, and hopefully people in the comments can say where they've been able to get their copies. I don't know if it's been a worldwide issue with distribution, but certainly in the UK we have really struggled to get hold of copies. So I've actually had mine since I think September, but even that was late, and that was from the publisher, because they were struggling to get hold of copies. Normally it comes out in July. So yeah, as you can see, it's really lovely. It's a really good selection of images. It'll suit basically any colourists. You could leave it black and white, you can colour it in fully, you could even gift it. And yeah, it's really nice. There's also a 2022 colouring planner, and I have reviewed both of those, so you can, in the description box, there's a link to the written reviews of both, which include photos, and then there's a video review of the planner as well. And yeah, do let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you've managed to get a copy. I know they're a bit like gold dust at the minute. And yeah, I will be back again with more reviews soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.